chilling. This is another episode of No Fiction Forever podcast where we just be running our mouths, telling the truth, nothing but the truth. I'm your boy Shernville. You know what's up. You know the deal. We here with my big bro Vontae, aka King Mason 217. How you feeling, bro?
What up, man? I'm good, man. Just chilling.
Bro, you told me your numbers going up. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy to see. It's dope. I think that
Oh yeah,
you're gonna go up from here. I'm pretty sure about that. We in a good group of people.
I really do. I really hope so. I think I started off. I think came a long way. I started off at this two. Now I'm at a. Now I'm at 11. The last time I looked, so I'm in the double digits now. I'm good. I'm
Yeah,
very, I'm very grateful, man. I'm very
up from
grateful. I
here.
can't complain.
Definitely up from here, bro.
I seen
Definitely.
yours went up too. I seen yours went up too.
Yeah. I'm definitely growing, man. Definitely growing. I'm grateful. Got some good people in the circle, bro. Like a lot of people just sharing my shit and just be like, yo, just follow Sherman, whatever. And I was like, yo, like that's love, man. I'm just grateful for the people we got in the circle, or else I'd be, not doing many numbers. But I knew it was gonna go, man. I just didn't know how soon and how fast, but it's definitely like week by week. I look at the numbers, like, yo, that's crazy, right? So I think after I get the 50 followers, it's going to be about the views at that point because they want to see a certain amount of views within a month or whatever, and then hopefully that's all they need. And then, you know what I'm saying, I was actually thinking about that. I was going to ask you what you thought about this too. I don't know exactly what to do after we get affiliate, bro. Like I know there's partner after that, but I don't know how I feel about um I don't know, man. I just don't. I was telling in the stream, and if y'all listen, y'all might heard me say this, but I think the bigger it gets, the more nervous I get as far as not being able to connect with people. Because that's really what I want the numbers to grow for. Like I don't care about where I can just, go online and pay for followers or pay for all this shit. It's not about it looking dope to everybody else. It's about the connectivity. So when you got a million people in there, you can't really talk to people how you want to. At least I can't. So do you feel like that's gonna be an issue for you, or how you gonna handle that, bro?
Shoot, man. When I get it, hopefully, when I get to 50 followers or whatnot, you know, it's gonna be yeah, it's gonna be nice. But I ain't really thinking about all that stuff. I'm just just trying to connect with many people you possibly can, and also just helping people, because that's the main thing. And whatever comes with that, it comes with it. You just you don't want to get into the mindset where you're just trying to like make money and stuff like that, because a lot of people get into it, wanting to make money, get fame and everything like that. But if you go into that mindset, especially on how slow getting up is, then you really ain't going to succeed like that. So for the most part, I mean, you're in the right mindset. You want to help people out. So as long as you know get your followers up and everything like that, and yeah, you'll be able to connect as many people and help as many people as you want, you can, because that's pretty much the ultimate, goal really in mind, is just to help as many people as you possibly can. So I ain't really worried about it.
Yeah, bro. Well, helping people is dope. So I be in there giving subs and shit in people's joints. And bro,
Yeah, I
just
seen you
like,
do that. Yeah, I seen
yeah,
you do that.
it's
That's
helpful. It's
dope.
helpful for them, man. I'm grateful that they are so receptive to it, but it's just dope like being able to help somebody else build and help someone else grow. And hopefully those subscribers turn to long time subscribers and they just keep kind of coming back because it's usually dope people I do it for, not just randos. So I'm just grateful to see them build and see them grow. And it's just being a part of that, I think is just a good feeling, man. I think I'm grateful to be able to do that.
And hopefully all those people can, turn into friends too, not
Yeah.
just subscribers and stuff like that, people or followers, wanting to become long time friends.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the plan, man. I think that and I'm learning this too as the kind of things grow. I've been in I because the people I talk about, you see me talk about all the time, but I've tried before going into other people's shit. I like building black supporters just because I want to, I think that we get overlooked a lot, so I definitely go support a lot of black streamers. But sometimes I've been in people's stream before and they just not, the vibe is just different, or what I'm saying, they just it's not right for me. at least. Obviously,
Yeah.
they on there doing their thing, and they have their own audience. That's their business, but it's not been everybody I've encountered has been good. Like it's not been it. So I'm grateful that it doesn't feel that way, because if I went in there and everybody was cool, I feel like somebody's faking. So I'm grateful that I was able to go in and not like some people, because that makes the people I do like just me. That makes me like them even more.
Yeah, some people, get into it for, different reasons. Like I said earlier, some people want, the fame, recognition. Some people just doing it for money. I mean, which the money part is not, I guess that bad, but it's kind of bad if you making it that's like your only motivation. It's like you just trying to make money so I could be, bigger streamer or whatnot, and be able to quit my job. I mean, yeah, that's the ultimate goal for people, but the ultimate goal should be not just for money. It's just connecting with people and helping as many people as you possibly can. Have them, have you be that person's like getaway, because life is hard and
Mhm.
life, comes at you in all type of ways, and you should want to be that, that getaway for some people. And I've been in some people's streams too, and every vibe is different because based on that person and that person's agenda and wherever they're trying to do, to get their followers up and stuff like that. Some people are good, some people aren't as good so far. We've been able to be around cool people that's all about helping people, follow for follow, just all about support. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, bro. I don't want to ever lose that. Like no matter how the numbers get, I don't ever want to lose. I'm not one thing I wanted to say without having to say it. Hopefully people know me enough, but I really um I don't give to people in order for them to do something for me. Like it's not um like a I don't know how to say it, but I what I'm trying to do is build period, because I know that we all can grow. So I don't never want to lose the aspect of like let's look out for people kind of thing. And I'm all like I think I want to build like a network of people who just want to just give. And once you get to that place, we can help someone else start, because someone started today. Someone started yesterday, you know what I'm saying? Someone's going to start as we grow, and it may be the first thing that it may be really helpful for them, like it's been helpful for me, like just mentally and whatever. I also suggest too, as far as just leaving your job, you're talking about that. I was actually thinking about that today, man, because I've been off work since, well, but people hear this Friday. I was off almost all last week. Um,
Congratulations.
and yeah, it was nice, man. It was nice, and just like the ability and the freedom to do what I need to do when I need to do it, versus trying to cram it in before I start work, or right after I get off, but before something else. And it's like, man, the people I think the ultimate goal, man, for anybody, I highly suggest just being your own boss as soon as possible, because this working for someone else shit is just not it, bro. It's just not dope. It's not I don't think anybody's necessarily meant to be that. Some people want to be kind of like, a support factor in the aspect of employers. But I think a lot of people just get jobs in order to just pay bills. So I want to do my part in being someone who follows my own words. I think I talked about leaving your job in entrepreneurship and shit like that. So I definitely want to do like multiple streams of income, and I think that Twitch is definitely one of them, but definitely going to be more so of like businesses. I think I'm going to try to strive to, and when those businesses start bringing in money, then I can kind of feed some of that money to Twitch, and then take some of the Twitch money and do something else with it, or whatever the case may be. We'll see how it goes. But at the end of the day, I don't think this ever meant to be about money. But I think that but it's more to me about connectivity. I don't think there's going to be much money that comes from this, as far as um unless like not immediately. I think that there's going to be, as things grow and shit like that. I think it's going to be, finances are going to be a part of that. But for right now, I don't care about none of that. I'm just trying to get the features unlocked for the emotes. I'm trying to get the ability to just do a lot of other stuff that you can't do as just a regular person until you get affiliates. So once that's obtained, I think I'm good to go.
Yeah, man. Oh, yeah. Hope for the best, man. Because I know, because you got the, personality to do it. You're all about, helping people, supporting people, and because of that, you're in the right place, and all that good stuff that you do for other people, it's gonna come back. It's gonna come back full circle because you're in it for the right reasons, and that's what's most important. You know, you got your head in the right place. You know, you never want to get into anything with, you know, ill intentions, because, you know, all that ill intentions is gonna come right back to you.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as you keep a good positive mindset, you know, good things will happen.
Yeah, I'm grateful. I'm grateful that's true. I'm grateful that's true, man, because I think that a lot of good people always think that's always the best way to be shiesty or be shady to get ahead. And I really that shit bothers me because I've been manipulated so many times. But I hope that people see with with me or without me or whatever the case may be. I hope they see that it's not life ain't about trying to get ahead um in and of itself. I think if you do what you're supposed to do, you're gonna just get ahead. And I feel like I am kind of meant for this. There's some paths that I had to take and things like that to get to this point in life as a whole. And I think that kind of led me to being how I am now, which allows me to be how I'm looked at, I guess, on Twitch or whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm grateful that it's just myself and I'm not having to put no mask on every time I hit the camera on, because that would be tiring. And then eventually I'll get busted. Everyone gets busted. You can't, ain't no way out the truth. So yeah, I'm
Fake the
just
fun.
yeah.
You can't fake the fun.
Right. Yeah, straight up. And I think more people need to get that. But it's always like, man, I'm gonna just do something sneaky. I'm gonna be the first person ever in existence to do something sneaky and get ahead. And it's like, bro, like I promise you, take the stairs, because that elevator shit ain't no joke, bro. Just take the stairs. And I think a lot of people just want to try to be the exception. They think, that pride of that whole thing makes them think that they can be different. But at the end of the day, man, everyone falls the same way. And it's I just want to be the person that I'm supposed to be, regardless of what comes with it or what comes for it or whatever the case may be. Like, if good comes, it comes. If doesn't, it doesn't. But one thing I won't do is be shady, because I don't think anyone deserves that, or no one, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just isn't, it isn't the kind of person I want to be, regardless of what comes from it or not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree, man. You know, you got your head in the right place, and that's the most important thing. You know, you ain't got no ill intentions in what you're trying to do. You're trying to help people and trying to, you know, support people and just build something good and build something, you know, different. You know, that's the most important thing, you know.
Yeah, I agree with that, man. I agree with that. I think that, a lot of people can use that kind of conversation, but I think a lot of times it's not necessarily um, it's not popular. And I was actually posting, just so I posted a tweet this last week about um the popularity of just trying to be alone. Everyone wants to be alone, or it's so trendy to be alone and kind of be like this soldier in it. But I think the problem is ain't nobody being realistic about the other side of it. Yeah, I got probably more time than a lot of people. I can do kind of what I want on my own without having to check with nobody, or there's nothing kind of obstructing me for that kind of thing. But I think that the flip side of that is there is times like just trying to get through things. Sometimes I do stupid shit and like no one stops me. And I realize it's dumb after, like later. Like at the time I'm like, well, this is stupid. I'm finna go do it. Like I'll do it and I'm like, man, I should have waited, or I should have thought of this, or I should have thought of that. And just kind of some stuff that comes in after versus someone else being there with you. And um kind of be like, yo, like why you do this? Like giving you some time to stop and think first, and not necessarily just trying to control you, but just kind of giving you that space to be like, yo, you should probably think about this a little bit differently. And I think that it's underrated to have something like that, because everyone wants to be solo and independent and shit like that. And that goes back to kind of what we were saying about just being the kind of person you need to be. I think that sometimes the mirror is deceiving. So
Yeah,
if I'm thinking that I'm a certain kind of way, I may have a false identity or something in my own head. But if you came along and see me doing some dumb shit, you'd be like, yo, Sherm, what's your problem? And I think there's a crafting that's done with individuals um, that we ignore too much when you're with somebody. We're so scared to say that we need somebody. We always want to
yeah,
feel like we so dope by ourselves, which is dumb, because it's not meant to be. You're not meant to be alone. And I think the fact that you are a lot of people are semi decent at least kind of seeing what's wrong with some other people, although they need to be careful how they say it and who they say it to. a lot that just goes to show that we are individuals that are meant to be together and kind of craft each other and mold each other. So what do you feel like? Do you feel like that any of that's true, or do you think that there's probably some it's more beneficial to be by yourself than it is to be alone?
Sometimes it's good to be alone. Sometimes you don't need to be around people all the time. You know, especially like I guess more importantly, I guess sometimes it's good to be alone, especially if you want to like find yourself. Like if you don't know who you are, what kind of person you are. It's good to be by yourself because sometimes you need that that alone time. But sometimes you need to be around people too, especially if you're doing dumb stuff and they can hold you accountable and everything like that. Because sometimes you be by yourself and you do dumb stuff and you ain't got nobody that ain't nobody by you to tell you, hey, you're doing stupid stuff. Then you're not going to improve or anything like that. So sometimes you need that person to be there for you and you be like, hey, knock it off, get your stuff together because you can't do everything alone. You need people. Regardless. Even though I guess it's trendy right now that hey, be by yourself, do a whole bunch of stuff by yourself. You don't need nobody, but part of it's I guess true. It depends on how you look at it, but a lot of it's really not true. So you need, bottom line, you need people. You need somebody with you. You're not really meant to be alone, even though I guess it's kind of trendy that you should be.
Yeah, accountability is something that I think is overlooked as well. A lot of, I think we kind of have the idea in our minds that it's necessary, but we don't necessarily want to be held accountable. Like we just kind of get the idea that it probably makes sense for. I mean, like just in general, like if you know that you had a job and the boss was always gone, or if there was a world with no laws and no police, like of course you can kind of mentally like play out in your mind that would be some fucked up shit. But when it comes to individuality, we kind of think that the group is someone different, which is dumb because a group is just a bunch of people together. So it's a bunch of people who need that discipline and that accountability. Not just some group or just people. Like people say people all the time, and it's not necessarily thought about the fact that those people are literally just a bunch of individuals. So if I get my shit together and you get your shit together, then that's officially everyone not doing something. And that means that more people cannot do the dumb shit. And then we can start building from there. But I was thinking about, so it's been on my head pretty heavy about DMX, man. And with the whole drug situation and him being in the hospital. And as of this recording, he's still on life support. But it's rough because I think a lot of people, he's one of the situations I think, well, he's a little bit more looked at higher than some other celebrities because a lot of those celebrities get roasted every some time. People kind of look at DMX as someone who is not. There was a time where he was in jail a lot, and I heard a lot of shit about at the time about all that. But beyond that, I think people kind of respect him to some extent, and to see him. Just speaking about accountability, just like the people around him and whoever sold him the drugs or whatever the case may be, and just that scares me because I've never seen like a circle. Like he doesn't seem to be around people, or he doesn't seem like to have a group. Now I don't know his life, and we ain't walking around following him and checking who's with him, who's not. But I will say that someone that situation happened somehow. I'd say like that. And I think that I was thinking about just where I would be if it wasn't for certain people in my life. And because I don't judge, but I do say I relate to that addiction aspect, I can't even say it, addiction, because I think that there's just always this feeling of just wanting to, I mean, it's kind of hard to even talk about because it's so rough for me, but it's just always this feeling of thinking that you need something else, or what you have isn't good enough and shit like that. And it's just really hard to see, someone like that, someone so wise and able to articulate his shit. And
Yeah.
just, I'm saying, like, kind of not go out. Hopefully he makes it through, but help, what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to I don't know how to end this, but I think that it's just really hard to see as a person who respects him, Seeing, such a devastating thing happen, uh, in such a,
It's crazy.
yeah, it's like so preventable. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not even like, I feel the same way about, Whitney Houston and shit like that. People were making fun of her and her drug issues and the whole crack is whack thing, and people were trying to be funny about it. And I'm not gonna lie, I was definitely guilty. Some comedian saying some shit when she was alive and well. It's easy to laugh then, but then when she dies from that very thing that we was making fun of and we was laughing at, it's really hard
Yeah,
to, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm making any sense or not.
yeah, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. Judging people, especially when it comes to addiction, because you don't know what they're going through that led them to, be addicted and stuff. So that's kind of like that's a touchy subject, and hopefully, pulls through because he's a good dude. Yeah, he got his own, got his own demons and whatever that stuff he dealing with, but his heart's in a good place. He's a good dude, and it sucks that he caught up in addiction and that junk happened to him. So hopefully he pulled through because we don't need to lose him, and he a wise dude. A lot of people don't get to see that because they look at stuff that he do and not really look at what kind of wise guy he is. He's a good dude, man.
Yeah, a lot of
He
people
don't
look
deserve
at,
that.
yeah, he don't deserve it, man. I think a lot of people look at what the news shows, but when you follow him to some extent on on any other platform that he's kind of in control of, like interviews or shit like that, you can tell that he's super smart, and he takes his life lessons and does something with them that a lot of people don't. There's a lot of wisdom that comes from his actions, um, in his own heart. Now, I don't know, some people may disagree with that, but I think that when I was watching him, I can tell that he isn't just some dude just rattling off some shit he done heard forever ago. Like, he's not regurgitating anything. He's learned what he's learned from himself and just his lessons and shit like that. And that was definitely evident for me. And the reason why I'm so, like, I don't want anybody, celebrity or not, to have to go down like that with addiction, even if pulls out of that. Just this event is pretty traumatizing. He has kids and shit too, so it's not funny. But I think that I've learned something from him that kind of helped me change. And I don't really talk about this, but I learned something very particular from DMX himself. He said he was on Dr. Phil one time, and I can't remember what the question he got asked, to be real with you, but his response to I think it was about like how people think of him as a celebrity and how dope he is or whatever. And he says, I don't like compliments, or I don't do compliments or whatever like that. I don't accept them. And I'm like, yo, like, well, it's DMX. Like, everyone's gonna see you and think you say something, nice to you, whatever. And he said this, and this is what changed me. He said, if you believe the people who talk about you as doing good and they say you're amazing, and so you get all lit off and happy and shit off that, then you also have to believe them people when they say that you are bad and you ain't worth shit and all this other shit. So, and that, bro, that changed. That was like the beginning of me like changing, because I was always on the external trying to get something from someone else, and I was always fishing for someone to build me up. But he taught me literally, DM. I know it sounds funny, but I literally wasn't doing this until I heard him say this. He taught me to really kind of internalize my efforts, and I think that I would always be still trying to get something from someone else, or doing what I think people would like in order for them to accept me, if I hadn't heard him say that. And I remember him saying that and like clicked with me some kind of way, that just some shit that I've never heard before in church or school or parents or nothing. It just was like, no one's ever told me that. And I just, hearing those words definitely was the beginning of me shifting into what you see now. And I can't remember how long ago I seen that, but I don't, I now, I can even teach that to my daughter. I'm teaching that to my daughter, about just being proud of herself, and don't worry about other people saying, "Oh, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you." Like, be proud of yourself. Be glad that you did whatever you did to get, wherever you're trying to get. Don't worry about everybody else saying they happy with you. And I was able to carry that on in her, because I think that sometimes even as kids, babies and shit be like, yo, dad, look what I did. Look what I did. And don't ignore no child that's doing that. I mean, they trying to, they trying to do something, but that's a perfect time. If I wish I had known that earlier to look at them and be like, yo, do you like this? Like kind of build that up and let them know that it's about you. It's not about me saying that this is good. Like I know I'm your dad or whatever, but at the end of the day, you have to like this. And the
Yeah.
earlier you can gain that knowledge, I think the better. So I personally thank DMX because of that particular thing right there helped me out in a way that no one, like I said, no one has helped me out with before. So it was really devastating to see about the overdose and shit like that. It was really hard. It was really hard because I've never been the judgy type. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
and from the beginning, his addiction, I've heard him dealing with some other shit too, and
Yeah.
that's kind of close to me. You know what I'm saying? Just addiction as a whole. So it was really
Yeah,
hard to, yeah.
yeah, he got a lot of issue. Yeah, he got a lot of stuff dealing with. I mean, he's had a tough life, even within the fame and stuff like that. Yeah, I guess the fame kind of helped get him away from all this stuff. But even with that, I mean, he's a clear example. Like you can be as rich and have all the fame in the world, but you can still be struggling internally with stuff from the past. And until you kind of like deal with that, it's always going to affect you even into adulthood, regardless of what you do. So he's a clear example of that.
Yeah, yeah, I think so too, and I think that, man, a lot of people need to grasp that because I think that you and me, I'll speak for me specifically. I think a lot of entrepreneurs, including myself, wants to kind of get out of work in order to just kind of live on your own and be free. But I think that me personally, dealing with addiction myself,
Yeah.
I'm really cautious with getting everything I want and doing. I don't want I don't want to say I don't want, but I need to be cautious with my freedom because I'm a grown adult and there's not a lot people won't let you do. Like it just isn't. Um, and you have to be kind of careful and disciplined within yourself because not it's not easy to always pull yourself back once you're in the situation where it's in front of you. So the goal is, of course, to work on yourself internally and do what you got to do. So when that time arises, you're able to handle it versus trying to build all that shit up all at once, right when it's there. And it sucks that he's dealing with that, man. But you're right. I think the example of him being famous, I think changes kind of we could talk about it more because it seems like fame is what everyone would want. But in actuality, it's just like you said. It's just exactly like you said, actually, um, which is one of the things I've learned about recovery or one through recovery is what you just said is when you are running away from something, when you stop at some point, which you always do, that thing is always there. So you have to go back and deal with it. And I don't know what his situation was with the drugs or why he was reaching to that instead of his life or whatever. But I will say that it's definitely something that you have to deal with. Like you can't. There's no putting it on, and that's even just forget addiction for just a second. Like you can also be dealing with like anger or whatever kind of situation that you just want to get better from. Like why are you always upset, or why are you always trying to be better than someone, or why are you always thinking that black people are this way and white people are that way? Because something may or may not have happened to you, or you may have had something kind of fed to you that you didn't necessarily want, but did that kind of taught you something internally or subconsciously to get you to think that, oh, this is going to be this way if this happens, or I people think I'm weak, so I got to start yelling, or people think I'm not good enough, so now I have to try to be better than everybody. And then it's like that kind of shit too. It can come from childhood just as easy, or even just something you've been through. It's not always childhood, but it is a lot of the time. So I think that a lot of people need to kind of sit down and kind of that we're talking about being alone. I think that's kind
That's
of the
where
thing.
that's when you need to be by yourself.
Yeah,
That's when you need to be by yourself to kind of think about, find yourself. Pretty much simple. Find
mm-hmm.
yourself, get to know yourself, understand who you are. Just figure out your problems, man. Because
Yeah,
sometimes you can go talk to anybody and they'll give you whatever scenarios or tell you whatever you want to hear. But at the end of the day, you gotta You got to do your own eternal searching. That's the most important thing. You got to do your own eternal searching because the only opinion that really matters is yours. And you got to find out how you feel about everything because your emotions are the only thing that really matter.
Yeah, and bro, that's what I learned. I was by myself before, but I was like really by myself like after we got quarantined because that shit. I don't know what it is about it mentally, but it like made me feel like I couldn't even be around people if I wanted to, and I don't want to be around people. I never do, but that feeling of just kind of being told that I can't made me think like, damn, I'm really sitting here by myself, and that kind of made me either, of course, go nuts or didn't. And it was a really really hard time I had in that space because there was some shit I didn't deal with that I thought I did, but I was just always so focused on getting up in the morning, going to work, coming home, eating, and just the routine of it all. And I was never really given the chance to stop and like pause, stop life as a whole, and just be like, look, this is what you got going on inside you. And I think, and I've done a pretty decent job of getting some shit dealt with before. Um, Everything didn't just come up in that time, but some shit I thought I had been dealing with that was pretty much like a foundation or a filter that I was seeing things through the whole time kind of came up, and I was like, wow, like I've never dealt with this, or I've never done anything to get out of that. And it was very eye-opening, I think, for me, but it was also hard to deal with it. Just because I've seen it doesn't mean it like vanished and just everything was fine. Like I still had to deal with it, and eventually I did. Now I'm good now. I'm still, I'm not perfect, of course. Yeah, we all know the three famous sayings is, we're not perfect, we're all human, we all make mistakes. We all get that. We all seen Disney movies, but at the end of the day, that I've grown so much that I feel like there's so much I have to explain about um just life, and like in general, I just want to give to people because it was like, show shit, like I could have been on the other side of some suicide shit, or I could have been deep in drugs, or I could have been in some lot of shit. I had the environments to kind of help cultivate that mindset. You know what I'm saying? I had the treatment from my parents and shit like that that could have helped me go to a very, very dark side, but I didn't. And I think that's for a reason. So in order for me to feel like that meant something, like I want to give what I've learned from that to other people. And that's something I think a lot of people should do with their experiences, but you can't do that if you don't sit down and be with yourself, and like you saying, being alone, and really focusing on loving yourself and caring for yourself, because otherwise you're just giving people what you think. And I'm telling you,
Yeah.
man, I'm telling you from experience, that shit is wild how much you can fool yourself into thinking that everything's okay. Like I don't know what it is. It could probably be all deep or biological with like brain shit. So your brain trying to keep you safe or whatever the fuck. I don't know, but you can really, really fool yourself into thinking that you are okay when in actuality you are not. Like, and it's so wild. It's so wild how you can fool yourself like that, because you think you can't fool yourself. You know what a liar sound like, right? You know when somebody try to play you, but for some reason when it's yourself, your mind and you just everything just goes somewhere else, and it's just crazy how much it's crazy how much you have to really step back and almost have somebody else show you something, and a weird more of a like traumatic or some crazy circumstance has to happen, which is what happened with me with COVID. So I'm
Yeah,
just
man.
grateful for the time.
Oh, you go ahead.
No,
And
I
it's
was just
talking.
saying, that's what I was just saying, like I'm just grateful for the time. Like I'm grateful for that COVID happened, to the extent it happened to me. Like unfortunately people died for real. This is some real shit. I'm not grateful that they died and all this other shit, but I am grateful for, regardless if it's COVID or anything else, that I had the time to stop life as a whole, stop the routine, and just be like, Sherm, look, this is what's been going on. You got to deal with this. And it just showed me as well, that there's some stuff I have to deal with too. And like I said, seeing it isn't resolution in and of itself. You still have to, deal with it. And that's really tough, because sometimes, especially when you wise up, your mind starts, your mind, at least my mind, from addiction past, you start getting done with that addiction shit and your mind starts clearing up. Like this is how it works. Like your mind, you've literally fucking your mind up with most addiction. And when you stop, your physical brain starts working better, which helps you think things through in a more efficient way, which also kind of brings things up, memories or whatever the case may be. And it's not always to face. It's not always easy to face that, but thank God it comes up, because otherwise you'd be having this shit in you that you don't know what to do with. And I think that's it's more dangerous to walk around not knowing what's going on than it is to know what's going on and have a plan and some solutions to get to the other side of it.
Yeah, it's good. It sounds like the lockdown kind of helped you. And that's what I think, the lockdown did. Well, I think it was more, I mean, yeah, even though it was because of, I guess, COVID and, people, dying and stuff like that, but it was a good thing, for the world to kind of get shut down for a multitude of reasons. For you, being by yourself, it gave you a chance to, you know, find yourself and, you know, fight the maternal, battles that you needed to fight. And, for some people, like even couples, it was a good chance for them to, just families, period, to, fix whatever they need to fix, spend a lot of time with each other and stuff like that. And I'm pretty sure some people did. And, a lot of people probably did because, of course, a lot of people didn't make it, because, people was dying and everything like that. But I think, on a positive note, the whole lockdown was a chance to put a pause on everything and, fix all the stuff that needs to be fixed, regardless if by yourself, with somebody, as a family or whatever. It was a good chance for people to, yes, hit the reset button, get your stuff together, and then, try to reset things. And so, now with you, it's you came back from, all that eternal fighting that you probably had to do and stuff like that. So it's good to see because I could tell, you're different now compared to how it was, back then. So
I appreciate that, man. Thank God for that, because it wasn't anything I've done on my own. It wasn't just because I'm so super dope, whatever. All I did was not be scared enough to face it and realize that my issues were issues, and I not just part of my personality. A lot of people are like, well, that's just how I am, or that's just how this person is. But really, that person's doing that because they, some other shit's going on, and it's not cute when it's just part of you and you think that just, oh, that's just how someone is. Like, no, they should be doing that bullshit. So I had to kind of look at myself in that manner, which I also, so another part of this all is just being honest, period. And I think a lot of people need to do that. As you can tell by the name of this podcast and everything I've said in any kind of capacity to the public, telling the truth saved my life as a whole, because if I was a lying kind of person, I lie to myself too, and I never get out of anything. So the fact that I'm just honest, period, means that I can go through situations and look and even question myself. I don't give a fuck who I am. If something's true, it's true, period. So then I run into something, I'm like, well, I'm not going to give nobody else no done. I'm not going to give myself my own standards and then tell someone else they need to do something else. Like if I'm fucking up in this way, I know I would tell this other person they fucking up. So I'm telling myself. So what would I do? What would I want them to do if I was telling them and I wanted to see change for whatever reason? I just did whatever that was. And I think a lot of people just need to do that. And I'm not saying like I'm like the blueprint of what motherfuckers need to do. I actually was going to ask you, what did you do? Because my routine was my routine, but I still had time when I got off to kind of be with myself and like I guess the routine still kind of continued because I was always in my mind ready. Like even now, doing this on the day, like I'm always like, okay, I got to work tomorrow. And I'm like, okay, when do I go to sleep? That's always in the back of your mind. When I got to go to sleep, because I got to get up and do this. And what am I going to do tomorrow? When what I'm saying? So you had the family and shit at the crib when all this went down. So how in the hell did you get from what kind of impact did you have as far as like the routine being broken up, or did that happen? Did that happen for you or not?
what do you mean during the lockdown?
Yeah.
Like I said in a stream a long time ago, I wish I would have did more. I was like completely lazy during the lockdown, and I think later on, like when the lockdown was over, I started to do more. But like in the beginning of it, even in the middle of it, I wasn't doing anything. So yeah, my routine was kind of broken, and I guess that was, I guess that was not a good thing because I guess for me, I need a routine because if I don't have a routine, then I get on some lazy stuff. And so since then, I've been, just making sure I'm doing stuff. I mean, I got my routine now, go to work, come home, spend family time and everything like that. Now I got streaming that, add the streaming to that and trying to just find a balance. But for the initial lockdown, I wish I would have did way more because I felt like I didn't do enough. And I'm always feeling like just because of based on, all the dumb stuff I did back then that, a lot of time was missed and I'm just trying to make up for all that lost time. So sometimes I get kind of like overwhelmed and everything like that. So like, I still, even though I feel like I'm doing a lot, I still haven't done enough because of, all the stuff of me not doing much back then. So it's just like sometimes I gotta kind of like, talk myself down, like, you're doing the best you can and everything like that. Because I feel like I wasted so much time and now I'm trying to make it all up. And that lockdown didn't really help, kind of made things worse. And so now I'm just trying to like pick up the pieces now. I'm not saying that things are bad now, and I think things are looking up now, but back then, yeah, it was it was bad. And so I'm very happy that I've found the routine and now things are looking way better than they used to.
Bro, I think that you sound like you're trying to play like a mental catch up with where you was, but at the end of the day, man, first off, the time is gone. You can't do shit about it. You're never gonna feel like you you're never gonna feel like you did enough to make that time not be what it was. Like it was what it was. But I will say that it sounds like you gained some knowledge and some wisdom when it comes to just product. Here's the thing: it sounds like that will never happen again. And and if you gain that, then that's literally like the purpose. Like if it hadn't happened the way it happened, you wouldn't know if you would do that or not. Now you're 100% sure that shit ain't gonna happen again. So I think that if nothing else, which it sounds like you still kind of gain some wisdom, or even just I think one thing that we do is we teach ourselves how to think about certain things. So the fact that you came to that conclusion means that you're able to come to that conclusion or that kind of conclusion in different ways in different spaces in your life. So the fact that you kind of gain that knowledge means that okay, what else? Now you have that introspective kind of aspect. I'll know, what I'm saying, you found some shit out the way you found it out. So now you're able to look at certain things that you're doing. And at least that's what I do, because I don't want to have to go through shit in order for me to gain something. Every time like something happens, I'm like, okay, so what else am I not doing right? I was so blinded by the fact that I thought I was correct in this particular aspect, and I was so wrong. What else am I wrong about? So then I do like inventory, like what else is, I'm not like driving myself nuts, but it's pretty easy to kind of look inside and be like, okay, was this person right when they were saying I was doing this and I was telling them they was wrong, or I act like they was wrong, or shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like you kind of go back into a space of like, okay, I was defending this and I thought this is who I was, but obviously I'm not this no more. So what, I'm saying, shit like that can definitely kind of help you grow. And it sounds like you've already been through that journey or going through it for sure, because if you didn't gain anything from that, you wouldn't care about being lazy. And it sure shit wouldn't be no damn stream, because I know what you got to do to get that shit done. And if you was lazy then, you wouldn't be doing that shit now. If you was, I'm saying, if you was still lazy, you know what I'm saying? So it's definitely something I think that you've grown to as a person because of just going through that whole thing with COVID and the quarantine and shit like that.
Yeah, man, you're right, man. Yeah, I've came a long way. I could be worse. I could be not doing anything, and I don't want that. So things is looking up.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, I think that last year I was in the impression that things are going to be. I was kind of prepping for this year. I didn't know in what ways, but there was some shit I was getting kind of together and just like, okay, I'm not going to let another year pass with me not doing shit. Like I specifically was like, I'm going to do so much shit next year, and then I can't not do as much the following year. So it seems like every year I'm going to be building and growing something. And I got shit even this year. I'm kind of breaking it down into quarter. I don't know if you know about like the business quarters, but the quarter one, quarter two, quarter three is like the 3 months, whatever. I got shit planned out, and shit organized that I'm working on just to kind of get things done. And where it's going to go, I don't know. It's not about it. It's not about it going anywhere though. It's about me doing it because I know that these are things that first off I want to do. Secondly, I think people are going to like the new things that I think the world would appreciate shit like that. But they're out of my head now. There's finally not just ideas or just like, oh, it would be dope, or I wish somebody did this, I wish somebody did that. These are things that I want to do because I want to see it. If it works, it's not about it working. If I do it and I get it done, it worked because all I'm trying to do is complete it. So that takes so much pressure off me too, because I was trying to always like be dope or be like I would compare the impact to the work. Like if I did the work, but if it didn't have a huge impact, it was a waste of time, which was dumb because not everything is going to take off right away. And secondly, I still had to go through what I had to go through to get to the other side of getting it finished. Like, and as putting it, you put out music, it's not always easy to get it done. Actually, it's for me, it was extremely difficult, especially in my life and when everything that was going on at the time. Putting anything out was hard, and it costs money and just time and just effort and energy on top of just you, of course, working a full-time job. And I'm a dad and all those other shit. It's like I have to commend myself and I have to realize that this shit wasn't easy. And a lot of people quit, and you see a lot of people talk about putting shit out and never do because things are just easy to talk about versus getting it done. But now I'm in the space of getting it done, so I have to commend myself for that. It's not about what people think of it. Like I hope people like it, but I love it. So I'm just trying to get it out and whatever. So I'm grateful for just that perspective on things because that makes it a lot easier for me to kind of just focus on just the work part of it and doing what I do with it and just giving it to whoever will appreciate it.
Yeah, I hope everything that you got cooking up works out, because I know you do a lot, you got your hands on a lot of things. And that's one thing I've always admired is that you're always doing something, just sitting around, just, resting on your morals or whatnot. You want to be something and you want to, impact, you just want to make an impact on whatever you're trying to do. So yeah, I commend you for that. Because,
I appreciate it, man. That's dope to hear, man. I don't hear that a lot. I appreciate it, but I don't want this to be about just me though. Like, I know you got a family, you got shit you want to do too. Like, it ain't just me. Like, I think that I'm doing what I'm doing, and now I'm kind of finally sharing it. And now that you guys can finally see the shit, it's a little bit more easier to talk about because I'm like, yo, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. You can pull shit up, you can look shit online, shit like that. But there's a lot of this shit that I had just sitting in my head this whole entire time. So, bro, I think you can do it too. I'm looking forward to seeing what you do with this. I don't want this to be but just celebration of me doing shit. Like, I think that the fact that you in the Twitch and then you got the family and you got work, that's not nothing to sleep on. And I know there's more shit coming. There's got to be. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you do too, because I think that it's not meant to. Well, I'll say this. I'm not going to just give you shit to do, but I will say that there's definitely something about creating stuff or whatever that kind of helps you want to do more, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but sometimes you just do stuff. At least I'll speak from my perspective, but I feel like this is true. It's got to be. Like, the more I do, the more I want to do, and it's like it feels like it's a lot of work, and it feels, if I ever just explain to everyone, because I'm doing a lot of shit all at once. I probably there was a time I was doing that. I think I kind of, me and you were doing music a little bit more together at the time. There was a space in my life where I was doing stuff pretty much every weekend, every night I had a show, or every, what I'm saying, like every time that someone was like, hey, do you want to perform? You want to perform? I was there. And I experienced something that was, the whole burnout thing. And it's not that. It's not. I feel like this is something different. This is definitely something different. And I know I got my hands in a lot of stuff, in a lot of different stuff, but it doesn't feel like I'm burning. Like, it doesn't feel like, oh, this is going to run out or I'm going to be sick of this one day. Like, this is just kind of the beginning. This is the foundation, and there's going to be more to come. So it's just really odd. So I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of comes from your Twitch, because I know right now that's where you're starting at, but there's going to be some more shit coming, and you ain't got to explain it.
Yeah, I'm really putting a lot into, this Twitch stuff. So I'm really hoping it, works out. It's something that I'm committing myself to, and I really, hope that it, works like I want it to, because I spent a lot of, I've put a lot of, time towards it, even to the point of, gotten a little trouble, but with the wife and stuff. So, but something I'm committed to, and it's something that I really want to be successful for a multitude of reasons, because it's something way different, way out of my comfort zone, because I could be a hermit sometimes. So it's kind of forcing me to, be more, I guess, talkative, and forcing me to be more creative and learn how to mess with these computers and stuff, because this computer junk is, can be rough sometimes. So it's forcing me to, do a lot more, which is a good thing, because it's something I feel like I need for me to be a better person overall.
So I'm gonna ask you the classic question. What do you think? Where do you think you'll be at in 5 years from right now? Or actually, let's 5 years is a long ass time. Let's do a year. A year from today. Where do you think? Where do you want to be? Not where do you think you will be, because it means kind of hard to tell that, but where do you want to be in a year from now?
I just want to be, just successful, pretty much, in the Twitch thing, family thing, husband thing, just, overall, just want to be successful. I want to, be able to look back and say, hey, you did good, and you're still doing good. So that's where I see myself. How about you?
Uh, Bro, that's dope. I like that a lot. I think that I'm kind of the same way. So I want to be successful, but I also have kind of like tangible things in my head that I need um to determine what that is, like what success is in my mind, because otherwise I'd be like, well, this is successful because I didn't die this year, or whatever the case may be. But I got some specific things. So I want to definitely be doing this still. I want to definitely a year from now. I don't know how realistic it is. If I'm just doing what I want to be, what I want to have done, I want to not be working at my job. So I want to kind of be working for myself, because I can do so much more with all that time they take from us. I can do so much more with that time they take, bro. Um, so I want to be working for myself. I want to be. That's kind of my own. That's kind of my thing. That's it. Like I don't. I mean, anything else can be what it is. Like I don't have a dollar amount specifically right now. I just want to be able to live on my own without having my job. Shit coming in, revenue coming in from different businesses. I got a lot of businesses in my mind that I'm working on that I can't do without no funding, but I don't want to do
Right.
group funding. You know what I'm saying? So if once one thing starts paying for one thing, it's going to start paying for the other, and as money keeps growing, more shit's going to happen, because now I can do even more without no limits. Because right now I got limits based on how much I can spend. So that's when it's going to be real. Is when I got a way to just pay for the things I want to do, um, without no consequences, as far as well, damn, I can't pay rent, or they're gonna come take my car now, or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So right now, podcast shit's free. I'm doing some other shit that doesn't really cost me any money, but as things build, um, so that's the plan, really. I guess at the end of the day, is a year from now, I want to be working on my own, and to obtain that, I'm going to have to constantly, something's going to have to blow, or at least stay consistent enough for me to be able to feed other projects. And then once that takes off, then it's a wrap, bro. Global.
Yeah, I think it's gonna. I think it's gonna work, especially with the Twitch. I have a feeling that you're gonna get real big on Twitch, because I mean, I've seen even read it twice and stuff like that, and you gained followers from that, and then eventually the donations are gonna start coming, because you're a good person, and you know you be teaching on that too sometimes, and you know just being very helpful and supportive, and because of that, people are going to want to do the same for you, because they know that y'all in a good place. So I feel like that is probably where your income is most likely going to come from in the beginning. and I really hope so, because it's something that we right now have been talking about, and for it to come to fruition and happen will be very nice. Because at the end of the day, that's what we all want, not to go go to work, because there's so much time wasted doing that, and then they want your best hours, and so by the time if I'm speaking for myself, by the time you get home, you don't feel like doing nothing, you don't feel like doing anything. And sometimes even with the strain, like it kind of it kind of gets tight, because I try to do it around 6 and I get home at 4:30, or I get off at 4:30, and then having to come home, that takes whatever time. So I got an hour literally just to kind of chill and everything like that before I get that going. And then, but I know it sounds like I'm complaining about it, but I know eventually it'll pay off, because like I said, I'm dedicated to it. And so, but for you, I have a feeling you're gonna be doing good things, and your stuff is gonna work out good, especially with the Twitch, because you're a very likable person. I see a lot of people, digging what you're saying, and digging your whole personality and stuff.
Yeah, bro. But I think the same thing for you too, because I think a lot of people may come to my stream and may not like it, only because I'm just whatever. Like I said, I went to other people's stream and they didn't do anything egregious, but it was more about I just didn't like it. I didn't like the vibe. I just didn't like it. I mean, but it wasn't because something was wrong. I wouldn't, saying that they're doing streaming wrong. They're just a different kind of person. So I think that that being said, I think people are going to come to YouTube because they may not like me, but they may love you. And it's not about being like a Twitch personality. It's not, they don't have a set kind of way you need to be. Because like I said, I know people who don't even have no damn camera, ain't got no lights, and here I am paying for all this shit. And it's like that's definitely a proof to me that you don't. It's not about just spending money and making things, whatever. It's about who you display yourself as. As long as it's authentic, people are going to come, because there's people who really. If you got friends in real life, and you got people who like you in real life, all you're doing is just streaming. All you doing is playing video games, being who you are. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's gonna happen to YouTube, man. It's not just like I don't have like a template of the things I'm doing or things I had to become. It was just more about sitting down, just being myself. As long as I'm authentic, I'm really, really heavy into being real. Then it's whatever, man. It's all. It's.
Yeah, you're not putting on like a persona, because if you go to like some of them, like I guess bigger not YouTubers, but bigger, I guess, streamers, like some of them are like they're like personas, and then they're totally different once the you know stream is off and stuff like that. And I guess that's okay, but at the same time, it's really not authentic. And I think that's what's most important. And I think that just you being yourself, that alone will gain traction and stuff like that. Because all you're doing is just playing video games and just being yourself. And people appreciate that. They'll support you, especially if you're a supportive person. And there's no fugazi stuff on this end.
But I feel bad for the people who. I feel bad for the people who put a mask on and didn't have the kind of dialogue that me and you having right now, because they are kind of stuck in that. They're stuck in that world. They're stuck they're stuck with that mask on, because it was successful for them, and people liked it, and they didn't. They was like, oh shit, this is I'm gaining from this, rather if it's money or attention or viewers or whatever the fucking case may be. But now they can't take it off, and they're stuck that way, and I feel bad, because that's not an ideal place to be, man. To having to act and having to be whatever. Like I just don't. I would hate that. I would hate that. I don't care how many millions of people show the fuck up. I really don't care. Like if I had to go in the mirror and psych myself up, or if I had to come here and act a certain kind of way, bro, like man, like that is just that's a nightmare to me. That's worse than work. Because I can be myself at work, like I'm gonna
That's
do
the
my
job
shit.
itself.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So yeah, it's like having two jobs. Like you gotta put on the mask and gotta hold it up while you're doing all this shit. It's like, bro, like, and then don't let a motherfucker see you outside. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you get popular enough, people start recognizing your face, and then you ain't like that at the time. Then you gotta you're sitting trying to eat your food or whatever the case may be, and someone's like, "Oh, yo, what up? Let's take a picture and let's come, whatever." It's like, bro, like I just rather not, bro. It's not
Yeah.
not I. Some people may like it. Some people may like it. Some people don't see the harm in it. Some people may be able. I'm just. This is not me, bro. It's not me.
Yeah, man. I feel you. This is not good to, put on, different masks and everything like that, just trying to get popular and stuff. Because that's a job itself. You'll eventually get burnt out doing that stuff. So, it's more easier just be yourself. That's the most, take anything away from what's all being said, just be yourself. Because that's what's most important. People appreciate you just being real, regardless of how it is. Like, especially even if you come off it, I guess, as like a douche or something like that. I mean, at least you being real about it. Whether it's good or bad, you being real. Some people appreciate it. Some people like, people that's, I guess fake and stuff like that. Real people out here. But the most important thing is just be yourself. Because you'll get way farther just being who you are than just being someone else. Because if that gets played out, and like I said, you burn yourself out being like that. Because that's a job itself. And that's just not I me, not like that for me either. That's corny, bro.
And let's bring this full circle too, because we telling people to be themselves. Before you can be yourself, you have to find yourself. So then it goes back to what we were saying about how you acting in quarantine and shit like that. If you don't know who you are, you may be comfortable. You think the mask is more appealing than who you are. So then that's why you got it on. And that may be, so it may sound dope, but eventually, like he's saying, yeah, y'all gonna burn out, and it's gonna be horrible. It's gonna just crash and burn, and all the truth comes out anyway. So it's gonna be known. It's a known fact that you faking at some point, and then you're gonna be known for that. Then you're just gonna have a bunch of people who realize you fake. It's not gonna be about the attention no more. You're gonna wish less people knew you at that point. So I humbly suggest, as a person who's dealt with this, um, to just sit down and kind of, I don't know how in your space I can, I don't want to name shit. Then you think, I can't do that. I can't do that. Do whatever you know you got to do. So quit fucking around. Do whatever you know you got to do to isolate and isolate yourself for enough time for you to sit and just kind of get an idea of who you are and what you want, like for real, like who you like, dig deep into who you are and why you are who you are. And once you get to that point, to the place where you think you're comfortable with yourself, I think at that point, people are gonna be, you'll be able to feel it, people will be able to see it. It's just gonna be so much better. So like I said, I'm not trying to sun y'all, but please definitely at least think about it, right? Like ain't no harm, and you just giving it some thought. Like it sound right if you would probably tell somebody else to do that if you knew. So like I said, sometimes we can fool ourselves and think we don't need our own lessons, and that's cap. Like if you think that you are dealing with something along those lines, then you really need to sit down and kind of peel back the layers and see what the fuck is really going on under that. And I also want to say, secondly, if you are struggling with any kind of addiction, people say porn ain't no addiction, that's cap. People say sex can't be an addiction, that's cap. There's plenty of people who are getting help for that shit that you can look it up. It's not no fucking joke. It's not some whatever. Like find out why you having all that sex and why you watching all that porn, and find out why you're eating so much. Find out, you know what I'm saying? Go get the help you need before things get to the point of detriment. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to leave you with that. I don't have no resources as far as all that, but you can definitely go look it up. I don't want to send y'all the wrong place. There's a million places to go though. If you're a church person, there's a bunch of church shit. If you're not, then you can go find all that too. It's all everywhere. Just go get the help. Don't wait for someone else to have to find out about what you got going on for you to, you being so super deep in it. You sit here right here with yourself, listen to this right now. Go get the help you need. Do what you got to do. Stay with us because everybody on this earth is necessary for something and for somebody. You know what I'm saying? So if you take yourself out of the game for ultimately selfish stuff, and I'm speaking as an addict myself, not judging, but selfishly, if you take yourself out of the game, you know what I'm saying, you hurting other people along with yourself, and that's not what I imagine that's not what you want to do. Hopefully not. So definitely go seek the help you need and do what you got to do to get on the other end of that. And we all here for you. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone's, I feel like a lot of people would support you if you did that. I had a lot of support that I didn't think would be support. So definitely do what you got to do to get to the other side of that. So, Vontae, you got something else to say to the people before we dip out here, bro?
Oh man, you pretty much said it all. You know, need some help, man. Get some help. But you know, you hit it all on the head, man. That's what's most important. Get your help, man.
So where can they find you online, bro?
Oh, you can find me on Twitter at King Mason 89, and then of course on Twitch. You know, King Mason 217.
What's up? Okay. Yeah. You'll definitely go follow him, man. He's a cool dude. I keep tabs on him. He keeps tabs on me, so everything's good, bro. You already know what's up. Shermanville, you know the deal. Look it up. You'll see it. I appreciate y'all coming through. Thank you very much for your time. And please, like I said, go get help if you need it. Take care. Be safe. We'll holler at y'all later, man. Peace.